guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I thought I would do a quick Friday reads. I am off today. I took the day off because I was up until 2 a.m. because I wrote from midnight to about 1:30, and then came home, and I was so tired. But I got my words for the day. Again, that's NaNoWriMo, which you're trying to write 50,000 words in a month, which is about 1,667 words a day. So I did get above that. So I technically have my words for today, and I haven't gone back to it yet because I got up late, I slept, and then I did stuff around the house, and then I just got back from a lot of errands. And my last errand was the library. So I had already asked for a lot of books at the library. I already had a couple out. Two of them, like, they're for audiobooks that I already own, so they were just for guides. But one book I'll show you that I've already got out, and then I think I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more. So I have 10 books to show you for my library haul. So anyway, but let's start with the Friday reads part. So today, again, it's Nonfiction November, so along with NaNoWriMo, those are my two major things that I'm doing this month. For goals. So Nonfiction November is an initiative to read more nonfiction than you normally do. I usually read a title or two. I don't really usually read enough. Like, I feel like sometimes I read more than other times. But Nonfiction November, because I'm writing fiction, for some reason I go kind of full out. And the last 2 years that I did this, I read more nonfiction than most of the year in 1 month. So, you know, I am trying to get more nonfiction monthly into my reading, to do it more often. But Nonfiction November, I always read the most because that's usually what I'm focusing on, because I don't really want to read a lot of fiction when I'm writing fiction that intently, because NaNoWriMo can be pretty intense. So anyway, I'm going to show you, that's right. So what I'm going to show you is the book I started this morning for Nonfiction November that was on my TBR, and that is A Walk in the Woods by Bill Bryson. I am so glad I started with this. I mean, it's fun so far. I'm only about 50 pages in. I'm enjoying it because it's, again, about Bill Bryson and his friend Katz, who aren't really that close anymore, but he volunteers to go with them, and they're like 44 and out of shape, and they're going to take on this over 2,100 mile hike from Georgia to Maine, which is full of, the Appalachian Mountains, so it's up and down hills all the time. Anyway. So it's fun so far because we're getting to know about all the stuff they had to do in prep, and then them getting there, and then them starting. So that's really all I've gotten to so far. And I'm really, really, really enjoying it. So I'm hoping I'll focus most of the weekend on reading this. So that is good. So I don't know what I'll pick up afterwards, because now I have all these library books that you'll have to tell me if I should pick one of those up, or I'll pick up one of my other ones that I own that is on my TBR. So we'll see. So one of the first books I picked up at the library, because it was on the nonfiction shelf, was showing new books. Not the new, like as in the ones that you can only keep for 2 weeks, but like on the other one that's still pretty new. And that was this one's by I can't say this word today. Otswitz. I can't even say it. I'm sorry. I normally can say it. It's not coming out of my mouth. My head is still kind of fuzzy, guys. I'm still not feeling all that great. This one's Not Long Ago, Not Far Away. So it's really a book. It's definitely a history. It has pictures of artifacts and of placements and things, maps and things of the area. And again, I think it's just a history of it. It's just a new book binding of one. So there's more stuff in here. So I don't know if I'm going to read this fully now. I might just glance through it and then put it on my list to do later, but it was there and I thought I'd check it out, so I brought it home. And then the other big book that I got was Charles Darwin on the Origin of Species. This is the illustrated edition by David Quammen. Anyway, so it has pictures, and it has things, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna read this. Steve Donoghue is doing, I think, a mandatory read along on this. I'm not sure I'm ready to read this right now. Never tried. honestly. So I thought I would get it out and at least look at it and decide, but I thought I could at least look at it and, you know, they're pictures. Anyway, well, we'll see. As I said, I'm not quite sure I'm going to do the read along at this point. Right? I just got so much other stuff going on. As I said, I want to read all these things, and then to throw that in, and it's not one of the top things I want to read. I don't know. We'll see. So it's just another library book. So the only other library book that I had that I showed you before in my TBR possibilities was Ex Libris, Confessions of a Common Reader by Anne Fadiman. So I know people have really liked this, and again, it's pretty short, so I'm hoping to get to this. Again, this is one I already had a potential, but you'll see a theme here now that we, from here on. So I also picked up Dreyer's English by Benjamin Dreyer. I think he's a copy editor, and he's talking about things about the English language, and I mean, I think it's kind of like some tricks or like how things should be and stuff. I don't know. But I thought it'd be kind of interesting. I don't know if right now is the right time with me writing my own novel. Probably don't need that. But hey, I just picked it up and I thought, hey, I'd check it out. Now this is another one that I found on the newer release shelf for nonfiction, is Packing My Library by Alberto Mangle. And this is an elegy and 10 digressions. So it's just this little book, but it's talking about this guy who in 2015 had to move from, I think it's a French centuries-old village home. And he moves to a one-bedroom apartment in Manhattan. And he has 35,000 books and in his personal library. And he has to decide what he keeps and what he gets rid of. And, I don't even know how he did that. But anyway, I thought it was a small little book broken up, you know, by these 10 different sections, or at least. So I thought, well, it was interesting. It was right there. And then a book I picked up that I'm not even quite sure what it's about is Bleecker House by Nell Stevens, Chasing My Novel to the End of the World. I know she wrote it was one of the, Mrs. Gaskell and somebody. Anyway, it was her. She did that one as well. And I did try that one, and I'd returned it from the library because at the time I'd only read North and South. I still have only completed North and South of Elizabeth Gaskell, and I want to read more of her books before I pick up books about her. I think I just need to. I'm just afraid to be spoiled for things, so I guess I just didn't read that one. But then I just finished Bleak House, and I thought that this was on Bleak House, and then when I looked in the cover here, she goes to some place called Bleecker Island to help with writing. You know, she wins a fellowship, I think, is what happens, and so she gets to write, and she goes to this Bleecker Island in the Falklands. I think that's right. I hope so. I hope I'm reading this right. And then it's something about I don't know if Bleak House is somehow related or what. I'm not sure, but since I just finished Bleak House, I picked it up. So I don't know. You have to let me know. Oh, this one's kind of, here, let me do these other two first before I get to that one. It's not kind of, well, it does kind of relate, but it's kind of a little different. The Library by Stuart Kells, a catalog of wonders. I think this is kind of like a history on the libraries, or maybe not. Maybe it's just about books in general. I'm not quite sure. It talks about them being places of beauty and wonder. I agree, as you just saw all the books I've been hauling. Anyway, so I thought that one I saw at like an Amazon bookstore a couple of months ago, and I took a picture of it so I'd put it on my wish list, but I also put it on my library wish list, and then when Nonfiction November came up, I asked for it. Anyway, another one is I found on the new shelf was Reading Behind Bars, A True Story of Literature, Law, and Life as a Prison Librarian, by Jill Grunenwald. Anyway, so I think I saw somebody else had this on their TBR for Nonfiction November, but it has to do with a 20-something woman who tries to find a job as a librarian, and again, it was 2008, so it wasn't a really good time to be coming out of school and expecting jobs. So but she got one at a minimum security men's facility, or prison. So this is her story about that. So it sounded kind of interesting. And I got 6 selfish, shallow, and self-absorbed 16 writers on the decision not to have kids, edited with an introduction by Megan Dom. So I don't remember whose channel I saw this on, but I put it on my wish list on Amazon quite a while ago, and then I switched it to my library list because I found out they had it. So this one has to do with 16 writers saying why their reasons for not having kids. And being now in my 40s and not having kids and having to explain that all the time, like, people think that's just so odd, but everybody's story is different and we all have different reasons. And I kind of wanted to read just what other people, what their reasons were, because some people made conscious decisions to do it and others did not. It just, things happened, you know, it was out of their control. So I kind of want to see how these ones go. I just thought it was interesting. And then the last library book I have is Underland by Robert McFarlane. And it's a deep time journey. I have not a clue really what this is about, except that people said it's about the like under trees and things like that. I'm not quite sure. It sounded good. I'm pretty sure I saw this on Mel's Bookland Adventures and she liked it. I'm pretty sure she did. I don't know. I put it on my list at that point, and I was on a hold list for a while, and then I put myself on hold because I didn't want to take it right then, because then Victober was coming on. So then I re-released it when it was near November, and it popped up right away. So this is the reason I had to go to the library today, is because I had to go get it before tomorrow, or else it would have disappeared. So anyway, I don't know a whole lot about this. I just hear good things, but I thought I might try that too. I don't know. So those are all the books I got at my library book haul, or my library, that I don't know if I'm going to read any of them, or read all of them, or just a smattering of them. I don't know. What do you guys think? Any of these that you've read, or any that you're interested that you might get now? I don't know. You have to let me know. I mean, as I said, I'll probably be mood reading my nonfiction, it feels like, because a lot of these were actually writing and book related and library kind of, it's kind of, my mind is thinking about writing. So I think it all kind of went that way. I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, let me know what you're reading this weekend. Like I said, I'm going to enjoy getting back to walk in the woods here after I'm done with this. And I'm just going to take it easy. I am still kind of iffy on I'm better, but today, just doing the errands, I'm tired. And I think it's because I didn't sleep very well when I got home last night. The cats were upset by the time thing. Anyway. And then this weekend we have the time change, don't we? Okay. I'm trying not to think about all the changes. No problems. We'll get through. And then, but my grandmother will be 96 tomorrow, so that is pretty awesome. So anyway, I will see you guys later. Let me know what you guys are reading and what you're doing, and if I would put which of these books I should move up onto to actually read. Let me know. Talk to you later. Bye.